Welcome to Reporter's Notebook, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the stories breaking on their beats. I'm Jim Antle. I'm joined today by White House reporter Katherine Doyle. Katherine, we talk a lot about things that President Biden hasn't been able to get Congress to do. He's compiled, as we get closer to the midterms, a small but growing list of things that maybe he's been able to get done, and has a couple of non-congressional success stories maybe you can point to. What are some of the things that are happening that they're kind of touting as the new Joe Biden?
Next week he's set to sign a couple of bills, one on the semiconductors, which will help fund manufacturing for semiconductors in the U.S., and another bill on veterans health care for veterans who suffered from burn pits, or who've been exposed to burn pits while they were serving in the military, which is an issue that's been close to Biden's heart for a long time because of his son, Beau, who was also exposed to burn pits while he was serving. So these are both on the agenda for next week, and Biden has a couple of other things going on as well. There's been a little bit of progress, surprise progress on a scaled-down version of his Build Back Better agenda.
Right.
So the reconciliation bill still remains to be seen what happens with that. But there's been some progress, and it's been good for Biden while he's been recovering from COVID for a little while now.
So is basement Biden the best Biden? Because, you know, we saw during 2020 when they kind of hid him away and he didn't go anywhere. He wins an election. That seemed to go pretty well. Since he's been in hiding in the White House, in isolation, maybe coming out to do speeches from the balcony, do some videos where he may or may not stay awake for the duration of the videos. They seem to be starting to make some progress on some things.
Yeah, you might argue that. Somebody could argue that. The reason we don't really know, maybe that he has more time to focus on pushing these things forward, or maybe that these things are getting pushed forward while he's working on other things from the residents.
Right.
But it could be a good strategy for them going forward. I don't know how much longer his COVID infection is going to last, but it has been dragging on a little bit, and he hasn't yet tested negative.
Right. Rebounds don't usually go so well, but for him, this seems to have gone okay.
It has.
So now he's done one big thing, though, that didn't require Congress at all, although he did discuss it with congressional leaders around the time he ordered the strike. There was a major al-Qaeda target that President Biden was able to take out that we've been pursuing really since George W. Bush was president. Talk a little bit about this.
There was a strike. The CIA conducted a strike in downtown Kabul, a very early Sunday morning there, in the evening in East Coast time in the U.S. on Saturday, and the White House has been touting this as a big win, and it is, and it's a big security win for the U.S. and the administration's claims as well that they'll be able to continue with over-the-horizon strikes in Afghanistan after having pulled out this time last year.
Right, and so that sort of, it kind of rehashes that whole debate that we had almost a year ago to this time of whether, you know, you really need to have a 20-year heavy military presence in a country to be able to root out terrorist threats that come from there, or whether you look at the fact that this guy's like wandering around Afghanistan, he's in Kabul, the government knows about it, important people from the Taliban are housing him. Maybe that doesn't look like you know, maybe the tactic worked in this case, but the strategy can be questioned. Kind of rehashed all of that over whether over the horizon really is the way to go.
Yeah, and I think it's a discussion that's probably not going to go away. I mean, if the security situation stays the way that it is in Afghanistan, there might be other leaders who are tipped to follow in his footsteps, and whether the U.S. will be able to have the same kind of access to them, that's a question that remains to be answered. But I think in this case, certainly, it shows that they were able to achieve this long-sought goal, and sort of stands as a test case, I think, for what they were advocating for.
So there was a lot of talk about different national emergencies, and while President Biden's issued another executive order on abortion access, hasn't been one yet, at least as we're filming this, on abortion, hasn't been one yet on energy. We did get one on monkeypox. Are we living through a Biden emergency?
We're definitely living through a Biden emergency, other emergencies pending, and we'll see which other ones pop up over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Katherine. You can read Katherine and the rest of our political team's coverage at washingtonexaminer.com.